What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. Today, I got some prison news coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. The first one's coming from Georgia about the GHOSTFACE members who escaped the prison bus and killed some guards on their way out. We've been following this case for years. They finally just got sentenced just a few months ago, and you're not going to believe what happened to old Ricky just a few days after being sentenced. And also, we're going to be speaking on that basketball player. It looks like they might be doing some trades to get her up out that Russian prison. And of course, just a regular day in California prison. 2 homicides coming your way as well. If you like this type of content, lockup and crime related, do not forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave. Alright, so like I said, we're going to be starting off in Georgia with the GHOSTFACE members who escaped the prison bus and killed these 2 guards on their way out. Well, it was years later, and they finally got sentenced. Ricky, the man that we're going to be speaking on today, was sentenced to death row. And this is what happened to him just days after being sentenced.
Moving on now, new developments in the 2017 killings of 2 Putnam County corrections officers you see here. The Putnam County Sheriff telling us the men convicted, one of them convicted for their murders, is now dead after committing suicide. Ricky Dubose was recently found guilty of killing officers Curtis Billue and Christopher Monica while they were all on a transport bus. The killing setting off a major manhunt across several states. Dubose and fellow inmate Donnie Rowe were later caught in Tennessee. Just a week ago, Dubose was given the death penalty on all 4 counts tied to the case. Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sills says that he died by hanging himself in prison.
The story of Ricky Dubose has ended. It seems as though he has done what many of people have done in a cell when they can't take the pressure. This is definitely a prison story that will be remembered forever, if you were to ask me. But damn, they gave this fool some Jolly Ranchers? This is before he passed away in courtroom, man. I had no idea they were hitting him up with them sweets. Anyways, I got a little bit of PTSD from the courtroom analysis. And I know what the comment section is going to look like. People are like, man, he ain't do that. You already know who did that. You know, it was payback. It was revenge. Look, this is the type of situation. And this is what makes prison so scary, right? Is that, you know, there's a lot of stuff that could go on and nobody could really know the truth. No one would really ever know what happens during a lot of situations in prison because there's just no cameras or dirty COs. And I'm not saying this is the situation. I'm just saying that's how people think nowadays, right? We hear so many stories of dirty correctional officers that people just don't know what to believe. But you never know what's going through a man's mind once they got sentenced to death row. A lot of people are probably wondering, like, why didn't he just do this beforehand, before he went to court? Maybe he wanted to go through the court process, see if he was going to get death row. A lot of guys, man, they still have hope just not to get death, do life in prison. And then they hear death row, they're like, oh, man, I ain't got time for this. And they decide to take things into their own hands. Happens like that all the time. But will we truly know? No, we won't. You can choose to believe whatever they say, but, you know, I've been in prison 2 times. I don't believe nobody or nothing. But my condolences to the families that lost their loved ones on that prison bus. And, you know, even Ricky, I'm sure, has loved ones that are pretty sad right now. I'm not sure. But my heart goes out to everybody, though. You know, it's always a sad situation when somebody loses their life. Next up, I'd like to talk about the break-in story coming out of Russia. A female basketball player was arrested in Russia for transporting a vape cartridge with, I believe, hash oil or some kind of THC oil in it. And, you know, believe it or not, even though in the U.S. a lot of states have legalized a lot of things, in other countries, man, that stuff will get you life in prison. I've heard many stories of these traffickers getting caught up with just a little bit of something or something that was just personal, and they end up doing life in prison. Believe it or not. Yeah, these countries, they ain't playing with that shit. But the breaking story here is Biden. Well, I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. A substantial offer was made to Moscow in June. According to 3 sources, and President Joe Biden personally signed off on it. Now, sources say that they're trying to do a trade of inmates. Swap them out. Someone that America has locked up that's from Russia for 2 people that's locked up in Russia that's from America. What kind of Russian inmate could they be swapping for these 2 Americans, you might be asking? Victor Bout, one of the world's most notorious arms dealers, could be the key to a possible deal with Moscow to win the freedom of Brittany Griner and another American. So it's actually 1 for 2. They'll be getting Paul Weirin. I don't know who exactly this guy is, but yeah, seems like a pretty decent deal. But you know, every time I think of making deals, you know, have y'all ever seen the movie, what was it, The Jackal? No, it wasn't The Jackal. It was Air Force One with Harrison Ford, I believe. They took it over, and they wanted that general released from Russia. Well, they ended up, you know, damn, I think Steven Seagal died within like the first 10 minutes of that movie. Treacherous, man. It was completely unexpected. Got sucked right through the damn airplane thing. Anyways, man, yeah, I think about that movie. They made a deal, and the dude was getting, you know, released from Russia. People were freaking cheering for him in his general outfit and shit. That's what I'm thinking of, man. You know, I've seen too many damn movies. He ended up getting gunned down at the end because they got the president back and they said deal's off. But yeah, this is the dilemma here, right? It's like, you know, Brittany is in there for like a little bit of reefer. And this dude, Victor, I mean, he's a notorious arms dealer. I mean, the severity of crimes don't really balance out here. But then again, they are getting 2 for 1. So, I don't know. I'm going to let y'all debate on this in the comment section. I'll leave this article pinned in the comment section below. But this is actually a very serious situation. Not really serious, I'd say, but it's going to be a good learning experience, you know, to say the least. And this brings up a topic that a lot of people are speaking about. If this deal does happen, who's to say that Americans traveling to other countries ain't going to be a hot commodity now, right? We can take them now. President's definitely going to do some swaps with us, right? Something along those lines. That's what people are thinking. You got to keep all angles open and see how people are going to take. It's just like prison, man. You let one thing slide, people are going to be sliding all over you. But it doesn't always happen like that. Trust me, it really doesn't. People can make deals and they know exactly what they're doing, and it would never happen again type of thing. So, anything's possible. I'm just a YouTuber. Now, last but not least, we're traveling to California, ladies and gentlemen. People are dying left and right behind their penitentiary walls. On Friday, July 22nd at approximately 7:35 p.m., officers at High Desert State Prison responded when inmates attacked Mr. Martinez. Martinez was eventually taken to the prison's triage treatment center. However, he was pronounced deceased at 7:55 p.m., just exactly 20 minutes later. The following day in a California state prison in Sacramento, July 23rd, at approximately 9:39 a.m., incarcerated inmates Daryl and Nicholas were observed attacking incarcerated person Wayne Kuski with manufactured weapons on one of the maximum security yards. Kuski was transported to the medical center where he passed away at 10:08 a.m. And in both these stories, the inmates passed away in under 30 minutes. Just that quick, your life can be gone in the state penitentiary. But that's the prison news for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, do not forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave. And as always, I salute to every last one who's been supporting me since the beginning, and everybody who's just now joining the lockdown compound. Y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.